So my big question is, what does it take to be an MLB pitcher? My starting question is, what kind of training do you have to do to become one?
Well, I think the most important thing, Hayden, is just simply hard work. Skill and talent, all of that will take you only so far. So the type of training, it's just going to vary for the individual. But the bottom line is it's going to be hard work.
Okay. My next question is, how long do you have to play for the AA or AAA before you can go to MLB?
Well, that's a good question. You really don't have to. There have been guys who have signed right out of high school, a few, and there were pitchers also that went right from high school and basically they moved them right into the big leagues within their first year. But that didn't work well for those guys. They were young, and they weren't ready. So again, it depends on the individual. But it's nice to go up through the progression because at each level, obviously the competition gets better, and you get to mature with it instead of being thrown into something you're not ready for.
Okay, what are some key strengths or skills baseball scouts are looking for?
I think the biggest thing, obviously they're looking for talent, but I think any scout who's worth his salt, in other words, who I think is a good scout, will be looking for character also. We see enough stuff off the field going on today in all sports that isn't good for the game. And so I think it's important that not just talent, but a good character, and then the next thing is going to be a good work ethic. Somebody willing to put in the work to get to that place.
Okay. Like, how many people made it from your AAA team to the MLB?
From the AAA team, probably I would say off from that team maybe 5 guys out of 25. And that's at the AAA level. Nowadays it's a little bit different. Boston especially has used their AA, I think, more as that launching pad than even AAA. So times have changed. So it used to be, you had to be in AAA basically before you were going up. You had to pay your dues, put in your time. There were always guys ahead of you, and that was part of the process. Now, not so much. I think the money has changed the game, and their bottom line now is they want the best player they can get. And if he's sitting in AA, they're going to find a way to get him there, even before some of the AAA guys.
Or little cost, as much little cost.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, putting everything together, like, what does it take to be an MLB, Major League Baseball player?
Well, again, it takes, obviously it's going to take talent, but again, it's going to take somebody who has the character to keep him, or to get him to that level, and then to keep him at that level. Because the danger is once you're at that level, everything kind of comes too easy. And so it's going to take a man of character to sustain himself through all of that. The ups, the downs, the slumps, the bad outings. You better have your head on straight, and that's what I mean by character, to know that those things are, it happens to everybody, but some guys just don't deal with that well. So it's going to take somebody, again, with a lot of character to do it and to stay there and to have a good career. And then I think one of the biggest things is to know when to get out. I think too many guys today don't know when to end it. But for a lot of those guys, that's all they know. So somebody well-rounded.
Thank you. The MLBPA has more than 300 certified agents on record, but you have to play 6 or more years to have a choice to be a free agent. When you have played 3 to 6 years, you can have a salary arbitration, which is a meeting to decide the player's salary for the next year. The average salary for a player is $3,386,212. The minimum is $500,000. These are some statistics of the drafting process. 10% of players who sign contracts from minors each year will play one game in the majors. 1 out of 200 high school baseball players will be drafted by a minor or major league team. 5.6% of high school players advance to college, and from college, 10.5% of people can get drafted from there. Players that have been drafted by an MLB team usually start in the minors. If you're not drafted from high school, you can play collegiate, which offers more extensive training and maybe gaining more exposure. In high school, you can attend an MLB tryout. At the end of the camp, you may be taken by a team in June. My reason for picking this topic was because my grandfather played, it was his dream, but never got by AA. As a kid, my dream was to be a pro baseball player. I want to live out this dream for me and my grandfather who passed away last fall.